Hello, my fishing friends. Your favorite angling expert is here to give you the lowdown on what promises to be a truly unique day on the water. Friday, January 2, 2026. We're kicking off the new year with some seriously cold weather, but don't let that dampen your spirits. This day holds some intriguing possibilities for those brave enough to face the elements, and I've got all the tips to help you make the most of it. Stick around, because we're going to dive deep into how this Arctic blast is going to affect the fish and where you can find those elusive winter bites. Let's talk tactics for some of our most resilient winter warriors. First up, pike. These cold water predators are absolutely in their prime right now, and some of the biggest specimens of the year are caught during these frosty months. Where to look? On a day like this, with strong northerly winds and plummeting temperatures, pike will likely be holding in deeper, more sheltered areas of larger lakes, reservoirs, and slower-moving rivers. Think about drop-offs, underwater structures, and the edges of weed beds that offer cover and slightly more stable water temperatures. Look for areas out of the direct blast of the wind. What to use? Your best bet will be dead baiting. A whole dead smelt, herring, or mackerel presented on a ledger rig near the bottom can be incredibly effective. Consider using a float ledger rig to present your bait just off the bottom. Alternatively, if you're feeling active, slow retrieve large soft plastic lures or jerkbaits. Remember, fish metabolism is slow, so a slow, deliberate presentation is key. Next, let's turn our attention to perch. These striped beauties are year-round feeders and can offer fantastic sport even in the depths of winter. Where to look? Perch love structure, and in cold conditions, they will shoal up in deeper sections of canals, rivers, and still waters. Focus on features like bridge supports, moored boats, jetties, and dense submerged cover. Small perch move in large groups, while bigger ones tend to be more solitary. What to use? Scale down your tackle, friends. Small jigs, tiny soft plastics, or classic methods like a simple float rig with a single worm or maggot will often tempt them. Try a drop-shot rig with a small worm imitation, keeping it just off the bottom. Remember to work your bait slowly and methodically, allowing the fish plenty of time to respond. For those who love river fishing, chubby are an excellent winter target. Where to look? Chub feed all winter long and are often found in flowing water, especially in features that offer some respite from the current, like slack water behind snags, undercut banks, and deeper glides. They can also be found in rivers of all sizes and even canals. What to use? Trotting maggots or small pieces of bread flake on a stick float can be deadly. If the water is carrying a bit of color from recent precipitation, a larger piece of bread on a ledger rig can work wonders. Keep your feed light and consistent, just enough to draw them in without overfeeding them. And for our sea anglers out there, cod and whiting are still on the menu. Where to look? Cod will be closer to shore, particularly over rough ground or sandy beaches after a storm. Whiting thrive in cold waters and are often found alongside cod. What to use? For cod, big, smelly baits like squid, lugworm, and peeler crab on a pulley rig are recommended. For whiting, light flapper rigs with lugworm, ragworm, or mackerel strips are effective, especially when fishing during darkness. Now let's talk about the conditions that are shaping our fishing day. Weather. We are looking at a very cold start to 2026 across the United Kingdom. Arctic air is moving in, bringing strong northerly winds that will make it feel even colder. Expect widespread and locally severe frosts. Temperatures will be well below freezing overnight, reaching only between -6 and -2 degrees Celsius during the day, possibly even -5 degrees Celsius in some northern areas. There's a high chance of snow showers, particularly in northern Scotland and potentially in parts of Wales and the West Midlands, with some forecasts even indicating a widespread snowstorm. This combination of plummeting temperatures and strong winds will make conditions challenging. Atmospheric pressure is likely to be high, leading to crisp, clear periods, but may drop with any incoming snowfall. Water temperature. The water temperatures in the United Kingdom's waterways will be extremely cold, Inland lakes and rivers will be hovering just above freezing, likely between 0 and 3 degrees Celsius, with thinner margins possibly skimmed with ice. Coastal sea temperatures will be at their coldest for the year, typically ranging from 6 to 10 degrees Celsius, especially around the southern and western coasts. Such low temperatures significantly reduce fish metabolism, making them sluggish and less inclined to feed aggressively. Moon phase. On Friday, January 2, 2026, we are experiencing a full moon with an illumination of almost 100%. While many anglers believe a full moon can sometimes trigger feeding activity, especially nocturnal, the extreme cold and other weather factors are likely to have a more dominant influence on fish behavior today. Overall fish activity. My friends, the general activity of fish will be on the cautious and often sluggish side. This is a challenging but potentially rewarding day for fishing. The severe cold and strong northerly winds will push fish into deeper, more stable and sheltered areas. Their metabolism will be slow, so don't expect them to chase baits aggressively. You'll need to be patient, precise, and present your baits slowly and enticingly. However, for those targeting species like pike, perch, chub, cod, and whiting, who are adapted to these conditions, there's a real chance to land some impressive specimens as they are in peak condition for the winter. The key is finding them and presenting your offering perfectly. So there you have it, my friends, a full breakdown for January 2, 2026. It's going to be cold, but winter fishing has its own unique charm and rewards. Dress warm, stay safe, and remember to respect the fish. May your lines be tight and your nets heavy. Tight lines, everyone. Ni vosta, ni cheshuyi. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found this forecast helpful, and subscribe to the channel for more expert tips and angling adventures. And tell me in the comments below, what are your go-to winter fishing tactics in these icy conditions? What's the biggest fish you've caught in January? Share your wisdom with our amazing community.